Hello everyone. Today let us discuss how to prepare for 12th physics exam. This video is only for 12th class students and only for physics subject. In my previous video, I have given general instructions for all the students, that is for 10th and 12th, related to all the subjects. But this video is only for physics subject because I have been teaching physics for the past so many years. And I have been teaching since 1995. So out of my 29 years of experience, here I want to bring to your notice some important points and some important derivations which are frequently repeated in old question papers. Shall we start? Now, first you should know your syllabus and allotment of marks for each chapter. I have enclosed a copy of the syllabus here. I have taken it from the website cbseacademic.nic.in. Now clearly you can see from this page you have totally 9 units. Okay, here you can get an idea of marks for each unit approximately. Okay, you can clearly see totally we have 9 units. In these 9 units totally we have 14 chapters. Okay. For these 14 chapters you can clearly see here. So very clearly you can see unit 1 and unit 2. So they have 3 chapters, together 16 marks. Then after that unit 3 and unit 4, they contain chapter 4, 5, 6, 7. Together they get 17 marks. And after that unit 5 and unit 6, that contains electromagnetic waves, that is the 8th chapter, and both optics chapters, together all of them have 18 marks. And then unit 7, that is dual nature of radiation matter, and 8 atoms and nuclei, all of them together you will get 12 marks. And unit 9 we have semiconductors, so they have 7 marks. Okay, this may be changed. Okay, exactly you may not get the same thing, you may have little ups and downs. Okay, now coming to the chapters, let us discuss chapter wise. For the first chapter is, all of you know, electrostatics, that is electric charges and fields. Here I will give you the expected derivations. I am not going to discuss about 1 and 2 marks questions. Directly I am going for the long answers only. So here the most important one is dipole, that is electric field due to a dipole, that is on the axial line and equatorial line. You have to learn that. And expected, again long answer questions, that is 5 marks and 3 marks are Gauss theorem. This is the Gauss theorem and its applications. In that you will get 3 applications, that is a long straight wire and infinite plane sheet and charged thin spherical shell. So these are the expected derivations for long answers. And for short answers we can take torque on a dipole in uniform electric field. Okay, so this is about the first chapter, expected 5 marks questions and 3 marks questions. And coming to the second chapter, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance. Here also once again for the long answers you can expect the dipole. So here you can expect the dipole again. So we can expect the derivations, electrostatic potential due to a point charge, due to a dipole, and then we can expect 3 cases of dipole, that is axial line, equatorial line and a random point. And after that we have electrostatic potential energy of a system of charges, that is 2 cases we have, in the absence of electric field and in the presence of the electric field. In the absence of electric field we have system of 2 charges, system of 3 charges in our NCERT book. In the presence of electric field we have again we have 3 equations and derivations, that is for a system of single charge, for a system of 2 charges, and for a dipole. These are the main derivations which we can expect for the electrostatic potential. And after that in the same chapter, this chapter has 2 parts. Part 1 is all about the electrostatic potential and part 2 is all about the capacitance. Then coming to the capacitance, we have many derivations, and in that derivations I will tell you. Number 1, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, then capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric slab without mentioning the thickness of the slab, and the third one is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with dielectric slab with a thickness of T that is not available in our NCERT book, and I have taken it from SL Arora book for my students. And the fourth derivation is capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with a conducting slab, that is also not there in our NCERT book. I have taken it from other book, that is SL Arora, and I taught my students. And next thing is we have energy of a capacitor, that is energy stored in a capacitor, but clearly you can see here in the syllabus they have mentioned no derivation, formulae only. So here you have no need to learn the derivation according to what they have given, but I taught my students to be on the safer side. And we have small derivations, that is combination of capacitors in series and parallel. So that is very easy for you. Okay students, I hope all of you know it very well because they are small derivations. Then these are the most important derivations and long answer questions from this one. That is the second chapter. So here you have to know about two parts of the chapter, electrostatic potential and then capacitance. Then coming to the third chapter. The third chapter is current electricity. In this current electricity, we don't have very many derivations here because last year what all we had were deleted, that is meter bridge and potentiometer are not there. So in whatever that is there right now, most expected is Kirchhoff's rules and Wheatstone bridge, first preference. So that is the first one which I expect. After that we also have to learn, that is the flow of electric charges in metallic conductor, drift velocity, mobility and their relation with the electric current. So I hope you know all of them, and you know all those derivations. You must have done I is equal to NEA, VD, etc. and Ohm's law and VI characteristics of Ohm's law. Okay, so then after that what we can expect in this current electricity, that is cells in series and cells in parallel. That is one important point which we can see. And then resistances in series and resistances in parallel, those are small derivations which may not be asked because they already given them in the 10th standard. So for you they are small derivations, but to be on the safer side, learn them also. Then internal resistance of a cell, potential difference and EMF of a cell. Already I told you about combination of cells in series and cells in parallel. So these are the things which you have to mainly concentrate on third chapter. Then let's go for the fourth chapter. Fourth chapter is such a long chapter. We have many things to learn in that. Out of them I am discussing only the long answers. Already I told you only long answers I am giving you here. Means long answer questions I am talking here. So here what is the main thing is most expected is Biot-Savart's law and its application to current carrying circular loop. That is the most important thing, and which I expect the most. And after that we can, for small 2-3 marks, Biot-Savart's law, Ampere circuital law, and then force on a long straight conducting wire, that is F is equal to ILB sine theta, and Lorentz force QVB sine theta. All those are for 2-3 marks. And then after that solenoid and toroid are there, but again they have given in the portion only qualitative treatment. So be careful about all these things. And after that force on a moving charge, which already I told you, F is equal to QVB sine theta, that is Lorentz force. Be ready with all those answers. The next thing, that is a rectangular loop which is placed in a uniform magnetic field, that is torque experienced by a current loop in a uniform magnetic field. It's a long derivation, get ready with that. And after that magnetic dipole, and then after that what is the most expected question is moving coil galvanometer. So moving coil galvanometer is the most expected long answer question. Then in that we have three parts. That is, first part, the construction and working of the galvanometer. Second is how to convert galvanometer to an ammeter. Third part is how to convert galvanometer to voltmeter. So these are the main things, the most important things of this chapter. And then after that, if you go to the fifth chapter, according to me, we don't have any long answer questions here, because most of the portion that is deleted in this year. So what you have to learn is only for 2 and 3 marks questions only. Everything you can see here, qualitative treatment only, that is what they have mentioned here. Then everything they have mentioned like qualitative treatment. So according to me, they may not ask 5 marks here, but one thing is here, comparison between properties of the paramagnetic, diamagnetic and ferromagnetic materials. That is one thing which we can expect. And after that, most of the things are related to small, that is 2 to 3 marks only. Then after that, next we have electromagnetic induction and alternating current. That is the next unit. In electromagnetic induction, once again, the most important long answers are self-induction and mutual induction. In that, you have to learn very carefully. Here you have to learn about the AC generator, most important expected long answer question. And Faraday's laws, induced EMF, Lenz law, and all those things come under 2 to 3 marks questions. And the most important chapter, all of you know, is alternating current. Definitely 100% you will get from this chapter. Nobody can avoid this chapter. In this chapter, all of you know very well, only thing is the first part completely they have given AC through resistance, AC through capacitor, AC through inductor, AC through LCR series circuit. These 4 circuits you have to learn. In these 4 circuits, you have to learn 5 points for each and every circuit. That is voltage equation, current equation, power equation, and the resistance of the circuit or impedance or reactance, whatever it may be. And the fifth one is phase difference. So for these are the 5 points you have to learn. That is voltage equation, current equation, power equation, resistance, reactance, impedance, and the fifth one is phase difference. And after that, you have to learn 3 diagrams for each and every circuit. So that is the circuit diagram, and then the phasor diagram, and the wave diagram. So these 3 diagrams are must for 4 circuits, compulsory. Then after that, you need to learn about resonance, mainly for numerical problems, power in AC circuits, and after that you have a small topic, power factor, and wattless current. So wattless current, these are all under one topic in one page of NCERT. You can go through that. And then already I told you, that is AC generator is the most important from the 6th chapter, and transformer is most important from the 7th chapter. Most important 5 marks question is transformer. Take care of that. Definitely one circuit you will get in the examination. Then after that, we have this electromagnetic waves. In this electromagnetic waves, we don't have any long answer questions, and you may get 2 to 3 marks only from this chapter. So here mainly you have to learn, that is, this chapter is about 2 parts. All of you know it very well. So this first part, it will give you the definitions of displacement current, electromagnetic waves, their characteristics, their transverse nature, their equations. All those things are given in this first part. In the second part, they have given the spectrum, and they have given the 7 types of waves. All of you know that. In these 7 types of waves, you have to learn the names of the 7 types of waves, their production, their detection, their frequency range, their wavelength range, and the last point is their applications. Here they make you the applications, and then they will ask you to arrange the following waves in the descending order of their frequency or ascending order of their frequency or wavelength, like that. So you should be very careful for 2 to 3 marks questions from this chapter, that is electromagnetic waves. Then coming to the most important unit and the most important chapters are optics. You all know it very well, optics. So in this optics, the first chapter is ray optics and optical instruments. So in this ray optics and optical instruments, we have number of derivations. This chapter is such a long chapter, and we have plenty of derivations here. So here we have some time back in the model paper, they have given for case study total internal reflection of a diamond they have given. So take care of all these things, and I'm talking about the long answers. In the long answers, mainly you all know that is lens maker's formula. Most important is lens maker's formula, and then the most importance is the prism and refractive index of the material of a prism, that is most expected derivations. And then after that thin lens formula, and after that refraction at a spherical surface. You must be knowing that equation, relationship between uv and mu1 mu2 refractive index, that is one derivation we have. And after that we have optical instruments. In the optical instruments, microscopes and telescopes. In microscopes, that is compound microscope is most important, and after that we have telescope. And the telescope, we have again two types of telescopes, that is refractive telescopes and reflecting telescopes. In refracting, again you have astronomical telescopes and terrestrial telescopes, and after that we have reflecting telescopes using the mirrors instead of lenses. These are the most important expected 5 marks and 3 marks questions. Then coming to wave optics. This time in wave optics, they said most of the things as qualitative treatment. That means no derivation, only final expression they said for Young's double slit experiment. But even then, I made my students to get ready with the derivation also. Okay, so you also learn. Then after that, expected things are Huygens principle, reflection of plane wavefront and refraction of plane wavefront. That is the expected topic from this chapter, and Huygens principle is most important. Then condition for constructive interference and destructive interference, and definition of coherent sources, and next thing is diffraction. So in that you can clearly see from the syllabus, qualitative treatment only they have given, but even then get ready with the diffraction derivations, that is for maxima, minima, and etc. Then after that we have again the next is dual nature of radiation and matter. Here the most expected question is that is experimental setup of photoelectric effect and the effects of frequency, intensity, different materials with respect to photosensitive materials with respect to threshold frequency, and so many other things are there. So learn that all those graphs are very important. Those NCERT, if you open, you can see many graphs related to photoelectric effect. And after that, for numericals, Einstein's photoelectric equation is most important. I hope you know that. E is equal to h nu plus work function phi naught. That may be asked for most of the numericals. And the most important is experimental study of the photoelectric effect with all those graphs. Then after that, de Broglie's relationship and matter waves, that may carry less marks. Then coming to atoms and nuclei. Here also in atoms and nuclei we have alpha particle scattering experiment. So after that, Rutherford's model. These may be asked for less marks, but most important is Bohr's model of hydrogen and 3 postulates of Bohr, that you have to learn very carefully. Then after that, expression for radius of the nth possible orbit, velocity and energy of an electron in the nth orbit, hydrogen spectra. Hydrogen spectra mainly the 5 series you know, no? So in that you may get the numericals like Lyman series, Balmer series, etc. I don't want to go into details because it may take lot of time. 5 spectral series, their formulas you have to know, because in numericals you may get the numericals in such a way. If the wavelength of the second line is this much for Balmer series, what is the wavelength of the third spectral line in a Lyman series? Like that you may get different questions. Take care of that. Then after that, in the nuclei chapter, you have the most important is mass energy relation. Very, very, very important is mass energy. E is equal to mc square and mass defect. So these two are the most expected 2-3 mark questions. Here you have binding energy per nucleon and the graph related to that, binding energy with variation of mass, and the next nuclear fission and fusion. So under that you have to learn the small like chemical equations of fission and fusion you have to learn. And the last chapter is electronic devices, that is semiconductor electronics, materials devices and simple circuit. This is the most important chapter again. So I have told most important chapters, that is AC currents is one, optics is one, and now this is another one, electronic devices. Here most expected long answer questions are band theory of solids, that is semiconductors, insulators and conductors, and then the intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors, and then in that extrinsic again you have to go for P and N type semiconductors, pentavalent, trivalent impurities, PN junction and the construction of PN junction, semiconductor diode, VI characteristics of semiconductor diode in forward bias and reverse bias, and applications of diode mainly as a full wave rectifier. Here we can expect full wave rectifier as a 5 marks question or a long answer question. Half wave rectifier may be for 2 marks or 3 marks, but full wave is most important. This is all about the different chapters and the most important topics of those chapters. Now this is the question paper design. So you can see here for remembering totally 27 marks, that is 38% of the marks approximately. For the applying, that is solving problems, etc., etc., 22 marks, approximately 32%. Analyzing, you will get 21 marks, approximately 30% of the marks. So total marks for theory, you all know it is 70, and for practical you must have already finished. Every college has finished practicals, and then that practical you will have 30, and the gross total is 100 marks. And then after that, how to write the exam. General instructions for all exams I have given in my previous video. This is only for physics exam. So you will be given 15 minutes to read the questions. First read 5 marks questions, 4 marks questions and 3 marks questions. This is what I want to tell you. Don't start with MCQs. We have first all MCQs, assertion and reason questions. Don't start with the small questions because they will consume your time. Time management is most important in the examination hall. So first you go to the last page, just see the 5 marks questions. First you see the 5 marks questions, 4 marks questions and 3 marks questions. By this time you will understand how many questions you know confidently, because in long answer questions definitely you will get some known derivations. So with this your confidence will be increased. What I am trying to tell you is, when you see the 5 marks questions, 4 marks and 3 marks questions, definitely there are some questions which already you must have learnt. So your confidence will be boosted. You will not get examination fear. Immediately you will be happy to see some of the questions which you know. Then after that, now you decide in that or options which questions to answer. Okay, so which questions to answer in those or options you have to decide now. Once you decide in your mind, keep them in your mind. Now you come back to your MCQs. Once you take the answer booklet, start with MCQs serially. But all 1 mark questions of these MCQs are not so easy. So in my previous video also I told, if you don't know anything, just leave enough space for that and skip that question and go to the next question, because you have to maintain the time. Time management is most important in the examination hall. Now, when you don't know anything in 1 mark questions or MCQs, just skip it and go to the next question, leaving the space. After that, at the end of the exam, you can come back and answer them. And after that, here we have assertion and reason questions. Be careful to mark A, B, C or D very carefully, because most of the children till now they don't know what to give for A, B, C, D. Assertion, reason questions I am talking. So take care of all those things. If you don't know, just leave enough space and then go to the next one. Then also after that, 1 mark questions, some questions they will take sometimes 10 minutes also. Just for 1 mark, don't waste 10 minutes. Just skip it and go to long answers. But at the end of the examination, you can come back and answer again. So just skip 1 mark questions which take long time, just like the solving long numerical questions. Okay, then now spend less time for 2 marks questions. You have to spend less time for 2 marks questions. Don't go like essay writing for 2 marks. Long answers you should not write, because you have to save the time in the examination. Time management is most important in the examination hall. Write less for 2 marks. After that, now spend more time for 3 marks questions. Here you have solid marks. Now spend more time for 3 marks questions. Here you have solid marks. Here you should take correct steps because they have more marks. Don't forget to write SI units. Keep the final answer of the numerical or final expression of the derivation in rectangular boxes. Definitely you have to make rectangular boxes for the expression of the derivation. And after that, the next thing is you have to now move on to 4 marks questions and 5 marks questions. Here you will have to write case study questions also. Take care of them. Think very carefully about these questions. You have to spend more time in those questions. So you have to spend solid time in the examination hall for these questions. Take care of time management. I have been repeating that. Then after that, now after finishing all the questions, what you have to do now, once again go back to the empty spaces which you left to answer later and try to do them now. Earlier I told you to leave some place, no? Now you go back and complete that. Now don't forget to write question number in the margin. Check it out. In the last 15 minutes, check once again for SI units and formulae. This is the most important point. Now if any question does not have question number in the margin, you will not get marks for that. So take care of all those things. Make any strikings with neat strokes. Suppose if you have to strike something, don't make a mess over there. Just strike them with a little single stroke. Okay, take care of all these things. Okay, I hope you will do very well in the examination. Okay, all the best for your exam. God bless you all and grant you all great success. My best wishes are always with you. My prayers are always with you. All the best. Do well. Do your best. Do your very best. And God bless you all. Okay? God bless you all. Do very well in the examination. All the best.